Hi, I'm Jill Fitzhenry. I'm a Dynasty brand specialist with the FM Brush Company, and I'd like to welcome you to our series, Meet the Dynasty Artists. These talented artists are the creative backbone that make Dynasty brushes so popular. Each artist has their own unique way of using the brushes and love to share their expertise. So let's get to know some of them better. Today, I would like to introduce you to Tracy Weinzapfel. Now, Tracy, what you see is what you get. She puts it all out there every day. She lives life with a creative edge and knows that art is her calling. For her, every day is full of color and inspiration. Most days, you can find her in her art studio using a wide variety of mediums: watercolor, acrylics, mixed media, and of course, Dynasty brushes. Tracy is a published multimedia artist and enjoys sharing her passion with others, whether it is live via online workshops or in a professional setting. Her work in art studio has been featured in multiple publications over the years. As the co-founder of Your Artful Journey, she provides online classes for members, sharing lots of tips, techniques, and inspiration. And that is www.yourartfuljourney.com. And we'll post that so that you get the correct spelling. You can also watch her live on her Facebook page on Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time with fun and free demonstrations. So with that, welcome, Tracy.
Hi there. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Nice to see you, and thank you for saying my name right.
Oh, good. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your journey? How did you get started in the art world?
Well, thank you for that. I think from conception, well, maybe not, 3 years old, my mom noticed that the best way to keep me quiet was to provide crayons, a coloring book, a sketchbook, going to, I don't know, in Michigan, we had Hudson's where you would go in and she'd have lunch. They'd give you the 4 Crayola crayons and you would just sit there and work on the menu. So that was something that was very important to me. I loved to teach art classes in the basement with my imaginary friends and my imaginary students and my chalkboard, and I felt very important. I was kind of a quiet kid who liked to read, and I don't think came into her own. I don't like public speaking, but when it came time to school, my dad said, go get a degree that you could fall back on, you know, and I that was probably some of the most sound advice as a business owner and as an artist. And I think people think owning an art business is painting all the time and your hands are always dirty and you just wear this paint covered apron. But I would say probably 65% of my business is running the business, marketing the business, social media, accounting, sales tax, taxes, and all that other stuff. And I am so thankful for the background that I got. I ended up going to Michigan State and I got a degree in building construction management, which I now can build my own studio. So that was some of the most sound advice. And I have spoken to kids going into college or in high school or looking at trades. And I always tell them, fine, get that background, whatever you, and I'm not, you know, doesn't have to be a 4-year school, welding, any of those trades that are going to give you some business background to, and then my side hustle, this became my side hustle and now has taken over and is my way of earning a living. So that's my best advice. But I would say from those crayons to where I'm at now, it was just meant to be. I just needed to take a path to get there. And it was this way and this way and this way. And it's always come back to art.
There you go. That's awesome. So where do you get your inspiration from in all of your artwork?
So for me, most of what I do paint is inspired by Mother Nature and the colors of the rainbow. I kind of equate my art to Dr. Seuss, which was like one of my most favorite artists in the whole wide world. Um, I love fine art. I would love to know brushstrokes, but those are something that just are not my thing. And I know it seems weird when I say I'm a Dynasty artisan and I love their paintbrushes and I know the basic brushstrokes. For me, I want to be able to pick up that paintbrush. I want to be able to break the rules. I want to be able to show others you don't necessarily have to have this degree or know all the brushstrokes to just be creative. So anywhere and everywhere I'm at, I am taking photos of flowers, trees. Um, I love a good sunset and a sunrise, and all of that is reflective in my art, even down to the clothing I wear for the most part. And the shoes I paint, the pants I paint. I am one that I think flowers are just always been my favorite thing. I love them physically, and I love them down on paper.
Awesome. Yeah, and you're right. Everybody has something different to offer. And that's what is so fun about getting to know a lot of different artists is because no two are the same. And that's a good thing because everyone has a little niche that they specialize in, and you're inspiring someone somewhere. So never
Well, and
apologize.
I love that you say
Yeah.
that. Like, I always tell people too, like, find your art voice. You might take lessons from 10 teachers, Jill, myself, all these other amazing teachers. That's what's going to allow you to put like all these little tips and techniques to find your own recipe. I mean, it's great to follow what I'm doing, but if, I'm not going to be sitting next to you. I mean, well, I guess you could replay my videos, but I'm not always sitting next to you. You want to be able to sit down and go, okay, wait a minute. She says just to put the paint down and see where it takes you. I live by a motto that I tell people all the time because I come from a space of art journaling. It's like my diary. But one, I think it's the perfectionist in us that we sit down and they go, oh, brand new journal. I don't want to mess this up. And you instantly like put all this pressure on yourself. And I always tell people, it's just a piece of paper.
That's right.
It's just a piece of paper. Like if this goes all wrong, I'll mail you a piece of paper from my journal. Now, only one person has made me do that. But also, if the first page intimidates you, open it to the second page, open it to the middle, and realize your art journal is like your diary. It's your thoughts, it's who you are. You don't have to share it with the world. I do encourage you to share it, whether it's a safe community, but that's how you find your art voice. And if immediately you're walking into it and you're saying, oh, I don't want to ruin it. Every page has a lesson. I also never tear a page out of my book, and my book becomes my idea book. When I go to paint a mural, a piece of furniture, I can then put the mindset of, it's just a bookcase. It's just a table. It's just if everything goes wrong, you can use gesso and get rid of everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's great. So, what are some of your favorite mediums?
My favorite mediums, I primarily work in water-based items. I am not an oil-based artist due to the smell, the dry time in the curing. I am I am also very impatient as a person. Love instant gratification. Most of my art can be done in about 15 to 20 minutes. However, if I'm working on a mural, obviously that's not going to happen. So you'll find me mostly with watercolors. I obviously love acrylics and I love mixed media. Anything that you can touch, feel, or is 3D off the page is my favorite.
There you go. So, what are some of your favorite Dynasty brushes that you use?
Funny you ask. Wait a minute. It's funny you ask.
Yes.
Okay. I have to say, it's hard to pick favorites, but if I'm using watercolors, it's obviously this should all be water lily. It's the water lily brushes, and I have them right smack dab in front of me in this mug. Those are my favorite for watercolors. When it comes to mixed media and also, well, furniture. Oh, I almost stabbed myself. The blue ice, I love that.
Yeah.
I like to teach and tell people things can be affordable. So I always recommend they go to the manufacturer, go to Dynasty, go to their webpage, look and see what suits the types of products you're using. The black gold and the black silver are ones that I will always like point out to people as far as affordability, how long they last, how great they perform. And that's sometimes for me as an artist, I'm trying to encourage people to say, you don't need all of this to create art. You can do it with a basic Crayola or praying watercolor set. But as you build into your techniques and getting better, the paint brushes you use make a huge difference. The paints can make a big difference, and also the paper can make a big difference. But if you have those three things and you don't have a big budget, work within your budget and then grow, because it's so amazing. So to answer your question, water lily, the black gold, black silver, and the faux sable with the red barrel. Mine are all well loved, just so you know.
Awesome. 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 Well, and you have taught all over the place. So tell me, do you have a favorite place that you've taught?
Oh. Yes, every single place that I've taught, for some reason, I have been to Australia, New Zealand, Germany, all over the United States. Every single place that I've ever gone to is just recently I went to my own event, Tracy Time Live, that was in Texas. And just before that, I had a lovely trip to Wisconsin. For me, it's not the place so much, it's the people. And of course, my favorite is to teach in person. I think you ask any teacher that, when you can have, watch how somebody's holding the paintbrush, how they're holding their body, and just walking around and saying, relax, like you're clenching that brush so tight. That's reflective of what's going to be on that page. So to answer that question, each and every place I've visited, if I had to pick out one, I think, something like Australia or New Zealand or England, it just took me the furthest and out of my comfort zone.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Nice.
Yeah.
So do you have some samples of your work that you could show us? Do you want to switch to over
Oh,
that
oh,
and
you know
go
what?
ahead and
Oh, sorry about that. And I knew I forgot to do something, but I just turned on my overhead camera, and
see,
I apologize. That was the one thing I didn't preset.
that's all
Good.
right.
It's just a matter of the on button. Okay. There we go. Yes, I would be happy to share. Okay, let's see if I can switch cameras, because technology loves me some days and it doesn't. Okay. Can you see? Yay. Okay. So going to the art journal, I think I mentioned that for me, this is a comfortable space to be in, and my art is all different all the time. Yes, I went into a vase phase. Sometimes it's a matter of just putting the paints down and just things magically form. I don't know. This was a Charlie Brown inspired thing. But as you can see, for me, color, as bright and bold as possibly as you can be is where I'm going to be and start from. I love a good border. I think Dr. Seuss was the most amazing artist in putting frames and borders and things and inventing his own animals and flowers. So a lot of people ask me, what flower is that? I don't know. I don't know what flower it is. Maybe it was based on something. This was based on a quilt I saw. This is a mixed media piece, and as you can see, the thicker the better. That's got just a ton of texture. I love it when somebody opens my book and says, how did you do that? And why is there so much color in that? And they wanted to feel it. There you go. That gives you a good idea. And then, of course, course, I always say you shouldn't stay within the piece of paper. I happen to be working on, I have a wood shop. So I cut out all of my own custom surfaces. So this was just a class that I did in Texas. So I designed it, I cut it all out. We put that together. These are ornaments, and then I'll give you one more example because I'm personally working on Christmas at the moment. So this is just wood. And then I created a banner that says joy. But it gives you an idea that I don't just stay within the parameters of the art journal. I'm taking it to other surfaces and I work on canvas and wood. I think that gives you an idea.
That's awesome.
Okay, I can switch back
Awesome.
cameras. There we go. I'm back.
That is
And
great.
it
So
probably would be better to do this.
there you, yeah, go ahead. Oh, that looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that you're taking some of your paper and putting it onto the wood piece, taking pieces of your art from in your journal or just on a paper. I think that's a great idea. That's
I always tell people too, it's just a starting. It's like building up the muscles and doing all these things and not being afraid on a piece of paper, because sometimes you look at a canvas that costs more money and you look at it and it's this giant white piece of real estate and you just don't even know where to start.
right.
So if you can take a lesson from your art journal, and it gives you a good place to start.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Tracy, people can find you on obviously Facebook, your website, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and
TikTok.
TikTok. There we go. All right. So you're all over the place. Do you have any parting words for us? Any words of wisdom?
Well, first off, I would love to thank Dynasty. I would love to thank you for this opportunity and reaching out to me. I want to thank Dynasty for their support. I think being an artist, when you get to share supplies that you love and you have the backing of amazing companies, I just went to my own retreat. Dynasty donated some brushes, which was so lovely because it actually gave an even playing field for everybody to be working with the same brushes. But I just want to thank Dynasty for the support and uplifting somebody like myself who doesn't have a fine art degree. I'm self-taught. And I love that they believe that every person, every walk of life in the art journey, you can come from anywhere and they're going to support you in that. So thank you very much, Dynasty. I would say too, if you're curious about my art or getting started, I do that. I do a free demonstration every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my Facebook page, which is Tracy Weinzapfel Studios. And I also have a variety of resources on my blog at tracyweinzapfelstudios.com. And I welcome each and every one of you, no matter what, even if you've never picked up a paintbrush. Art is a form of therapy, and for busy moms, homeowners, employed women and men. Okay, I'm not leaving men out. Divorced, married, single, children, babies, pets, whatever. I think it's the best thing and the biggest gift to yourself is to find 15 or 20 minutes a day to do something creative and release, unplug, and just be connected with yourself. So thank you.
Great advice. Awesome. So, well, Tracy, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself with us, and take care and safe journeys everywhere you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dynasty.